All right, and we're live. Welcome to the Hinge Games live stream. I'm Bjorn Swenson.
And I'm Jock Joy.
Cool. All right, so today I don't have a ton to talk about. There's a few things I did. This week mostly I was doing contract work.
Mhm.
But I got in some new font. Well, not a new font, same old font, but I managed to get in the loading screen and a couple other things with dungeons, little polish tweaks there. But it was a big week for Jacques. Jacques, what did you do this week?
Uh, Very good question. I made a list. I did a, I did a, so I set up an armor system package for our outsourcing. Worked on some gray box for the Dream Dreams Hub. I integrated some new water, and I worked on the relighting the treasure room. I worked on some new god rays as well. So it was a bunch of small little things that kind of see like minor improvements throughout the kind of what we have. And so from there, I'll get started. Okay.
All right. Let me just share your screen here. Boom. All right. And oh yeah, let's switch to this view. All right.
All right. So, well, we have Korean outsourcing, so it's maybe a bit different. Okay. So basically, the system that we're using, I'm not sure if I kind of explained what we did, was we were doing a system of it's basically a weapon system that adheres to three conventions. And so it's about nailing down three conventions. So we have basically a basic leveling up system where you have like the level one spear, a level two, what you didn't draw, level three, level four, level five. So basically seven levels of spear. So you have like your spear, your junk spear here, and you have your super ultra end game awesome spear here. And so we're going to just kind of work on this like leveling system, as you can see, kind of the different examples that we have. So we have our concept artist working on that while doing an elemental system. So we basically have like our normal weapon, our our fire, ice, earth, wind, and God, I'm blanking right now.
Water,
And electric
lightning.
lightning. Yeah. And so the thing is all of these weapons, like the level up system, has to kind of adhere to the kind of this glowing color thing that we're going to plan on doing. And it's just going to kind of level up. And the thing is, the only thing that's going to swap about this is going to be just kind of the blade or whatever it is that we kind of keep colored, and that's going to kind of be backed up uh, by with effects. So we'll have like the electricity, we'll have the fire, we'll find different effects for everything like that. And then we have our third thing, which is the alignment. The level one doesn't really show it very well, but basically what we wanted was to have like something very like neutral, and then angelic, and then demonic. So we wanted kind of like a black with like kind of dragon claws and like fangs and things like that, and white with like angelic with like angel wings, kind of softer curves, more glowy, things like that. So it'll be kind of like a nice contrast of like black inky fog and kind of white angelic kind of smoke, I guess. So that's kind of the system that we had for the weapons, and more or less it kind of transferred to our armor package. And I realized I left a very blank system where we needed the level one through seven, and I needed her to design all of this for us. And then, of course, the problem with this is we actually also needed a player color system. So the player color system actually had to have like the primary accents for the colors. So it's going to be kind of like as Bjorn mentioned the other week in chat, was it's more like a Warcraft unit or a Starcraft unit. So no
Mhm.
matter kind of the armor type, actually, wait, let me go back to the previous weapons. The thing I left out was we now have six weapon types. We've got the javelins, the spears, we've got the crossbow, the dual-handed swords, the cannons, and the great sword, the single-handed sword. So these are kind of like the melee weapons and the ranged weapons, and so we need basically seven of each of those times the angelic versions times the demonic versions, and then the gems. So there's going to be a lot of variety in this game. Because that's what we're hoping for. And then we move over to the armor package. So yeah, the armor is made up of basically just, it's pretty simple. It's going to be a helmet, the body, the gloves, and the boots. We're keeping it as simple as can be. Pauldrons are kind of like, I just put them on here optionally, but it looks like we're probably going to be abandoning any kind of a pauldron system, which is fine. It'll be just kind of built into the design of the armor. And from here, same thing. We'll have like the angelic alignment and the demonic alignment as well, but that's going to be coming later. And the reason I bring this up is because I want to show the first iteration of the armors that we have. Where is it? So this is kind of like the rough sketch of where we're at. We're doing like a level 3. So the level 3 of the medium armor and the level 3 of the light armor. Just there's a few notes regarding like how much color we can actually have on here, how much color we can have on here, and just technical things like how much the hair has to be colored, and making sure kind of these glove lines or whatever are going to be additive. So that means it has to add on to what's already there, and it has to be swappable. So basically, we should be able to use these light gloves on this heavy armor, and these light boots on the heavy armor, and vice versa. So it's going to be a system that has to have like the cut. But yeah, that's about it. And yeah.
Well, you already did, because the model we currently have in the game, we already did the cuts, right?
Yeah. So I let her know where the cuts were, and I think I'm just kind of letting her freestyle it. It's pretty much where the elbow is. Believe she kind of drew on top of this mostly. I think she kind of reproportioned a little bit. I think we're trying to go for the younger kid. They're going to go. I think she just, for her design sake, she's doing like an older proportion design, but we'll probably propagate this onto there, which is
cool.
Fine. Yeah, and then hopefully from here we'll be able to get some more awesome key art.
Yeah.
Yep. With the 4 characters, I would say kind of more of a Castle Crashers type thing, or a 4 Swords Adventures. All right. And so the next thing that we got around to had Bjorn is actually helping me out with this. We bought and Bruno as well. We bought a water shader on the Unreal Store. It's not that light, and just kind of have a bit of a bug. So we run in the game. Oh, cool! You got the dummies in there. We'll just talk about that after. So I ultimately wanted blue Jello water in the game. It's kind of like it's a way to get like a probably get some splashing effects in there.
Yeah. Oh, it's a weird artifact in there. Gotta check that out.
Yep. That's okay.
Oh.
But yeah, we wanted this new blue Jello. The main thing we wanted was we wanted just kind of like a little bit of like this kind of depth you get, the foggy depth. We wanted just kind of a tint of the color, kind of a more of a tropical feel to the color, feel, because there's not many places in the game where you get to see the sky. So anytime we kind of get the sky throwing down there, it might be actually kind of use that as an opportunity to take it. So yeah, we're pretty happy with this blue Jello water. There's probably going to be a few things we're going to have to tweak to get there, and legs on the bridge going all the way down. And
it's looking good though.
Yeah.
I gotta say, gotta be careful about hitting the table because it really like travels through your mind.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. So we really like this. We had a lot of help from various tech art friends because we were having a lot of trouble with the custom depth. What's it called? Depth. Not stencil. Custom depth buffer. So basically, what that was is kind of like what enables it to get foggier and foggier the deeper it goes. Kind of like subsurface scattering in a way, but it's more just like a fog, and that was actually kind of weird for us to nail down. Yeah. So moving on from that, I propagated that water kind of throughout the various dungeons, and restarting Unreal. We propagated that water throughout the dungeons, and it actually looks pretty cool as well. So in the dungeon, they actually have move that out of the way. We actually have a lot of really cool. It looks a lot more cartoony, a lot more stylized. I'm kind of more in tune with what we have in the game, like just the rest of the style of the game. The problem we've had with a lot of the water shaders that we've kind of either looked at or we've had friends kind of assist us making is that it's actually more realistic water, and it's not meant to be viewed from the top down. It's meant to be viewed from a like a third person over the shoulder angle. And so
Mhm.
you get all these like nice sky effects and things like that. But because we have a top down view, it's a much different. We have much different visual needs, I guess.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was something a few of the people were talking to was like they were the way they were setting up for it is like, well, I guess this can work as long as you don't get too close to the water, or I think it's called the angle of incidence, and it's like the angle that you're looking at the
yeah,
surface of the water,
yeah,
and ours is pretty much locked. So
yeah. It's pretty good. Open up this base dungeon.
mhm.
Oh, I don't know if that's the right sheet. Oh yeah, here we go. Stop. So we've got those awesome, like annoying levels that makes you walk really slow in the water.
Yep,
It makes it a lot more. We
they don't
love
show
those
up
actually.
until after you get dodged though. So there's
What?
that.
Okay. So this is the shallow one, the shallow water. What I had to actually do because due to we're still kind of getting a weird thing where the lighting I actually made doesn't actually reach the ground, so I had to throw in another light on the like inside right at the level of the water. And because our water is actually flat, it just kind of fakes looking like it's moving. The
Mhm.
refraction happens kind of like on a plane, that it actually works really well. So I'll try to see if I can open up another level here. Is there what was our other water level? Shape 9? Yeah, here we go. Sorry about the sorry about the bump.
Mm. It's good. We got to get you an arm.
Yeah, yeah, I know, I know. It's just I thought I ordered it, but then they're out of stock now, so I gotta order another
Ah,
one.
damn.
Yep. So here we go. It's you can kind of see that blue jello thing that was happening before. So last week, what we were having with the water was it just kind of went into like black. And the other
Hmm.
thing is we weren't getting the reflection of this here. I can't eject out of the game, right? I have to play through the
Uh,
viewer.
yeah, you have to play in window. You can't. You
Okay,
can't
I'll play through
start.
the window.
Yeah. Play
Play
selected first one.
yeah, to viewport.
Select viewport. Yeah.
So to go like this, out of it. So it's using a screen space reflection. So let's see
Okay.
if I can get this up on the screen. So see on the screen if you jump in the middle of the raft, we get the reflections of these awesome windows, awesome light sources that we're getting. So the thing is like we weren't getting that before because I mean it is pretty heavy. Like our tech art director mentioned that it's an area of concern for him, but
Hmm.
we'll see how it goes. Like I don't know what our performance it is on console yet, but we'll see. But that might be something we're gonna have to fake.
Hmm.
But we'll see. We'll see. Yep. No, possess. See the there. Okay. And the next thing, what did I do? Treasure rooms. So I know I did a pass on the treasure room last tutorial route. Yeah, here's the treasure room. Play it. So this is actually I wanted more of a daylight feel to this. Oh, you don't really see it. They changed the post-processing volume. You get the rainbows coming down.
Hmm.
Get the
Oh, did
god
you
ray.
leave the warp point out of place?
I moved that for now because I'm going to
Okay.
change the work point to being like a hieroglyphic thing on the ground. Because
Okay.
right now I was having a lot of problems editing this thing when
Hmm.
this warp point was here. So I wasn't sure
Right.
how to make this look like a god beam or whatever. So the things that I still want to add to here is I kind of want like a fog. Kind of want to get
Hmm.
like these fog cards working in here again. So I'll probably
Okay.
yeah. So here's our new god rays. So rather than kind of have them just sort of straight up and down now, they're actually kind of following the camera now, and some other hacky stuff that I did using Bruno's awesome shader.
Cool.
So I'll just show you kind of what I did. Oh, geez, so sorry about that. I'm trying to put it somewhere softly. So, what did I do? Right. So the new God rays are more like a I changed the texture so it actually fades up at the top. So just in case you kind of catch one of these angles, you don't see like this sharp edge. I now have it kind of oriented to always be aligned to the camera. So you kind of get this sort of effect rather than having it like straight up and down, which is what we have. I put two cones in here. One cone has like our warp effect, just to kind of give it a little bit of motion in there. So the thing is you don't actually see it very well. You just kind of get a subtle kind of smoky thing coming down.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of see like these like it's almost like a humidifier humidifier smoke coming down. And then the last thing I did was I made a inverted cone, God ray cone in there. Basically just a volumetric light because we're not doing actual volumes.
Yeah.
I can't even select it. So you can see this
Just
white
a cylinder.
cone there.
You can hit T to select transparent stuff.
Oh, there we go. So yeah, it's just a cone. It's got the Fresnel edges faded, so it's an inverted Fresnel. So basically, the outside is always going to be faded, and it's going to fade to the bottom. And there's not even a texture on here. It's just Bruno's awesome shader. So
Cool.
he's got a bunch of controls in there to do everything. Yeah, and then of course I made these things a little bit more offset color, so it just kind of looks a bit more prismatic, I guess. So I think what happened was we were just getting a lot of these like straight up and down lines, but the thing was, because it's additive, what ended up happening was it just started looking like white. And I realized it was just white too often. I actually wanted those colors intentionally there, so now we have those colors intentionally there. Kind of.
Can you hold on a sec, Chuck? Hold on,
Yep.
everybody. We'll be right back.
Sorry about
All right,
that.
sorry about that. Just had to fix some audio issues. And I guess, yeah, let's jump back into Unreal. There we go.
All right. So here, where are we? Let me just get back here. Okay. So yeah, the other thing I had was these falling confetti things, kind of motes of dust. So it's kind of like a simple bokeh effect. I just kind of want to make it more full, and it's also kind of just helps to contribute a bit of that subtle movement to everything. So kind of going back, iterating on the God rays, just because it started to not work for me. Now we kind of get this rainbow prismatic kind of rainbow thing happening here, and then we get the rainbow, I guess, dust motes of dust. And so all that's left is kind of the fog cards and making a little warp point exit, I guess. I guess it's going to be like a texture that rotates or a couple textures that rotate from there. Yeah.
Cool.
And then step on it.
Is that Is that going to be obvious at all? Like, it doesn't need to be obvious as the placeholder what I put in, but because like there's the god rays and then the warp points behind it.
Yeah.
So, are the god rays going to be obscuring the? Or were
Well,
we going to hide the god rays when we opened the chest?
oh, we could hide the god rays when you open the chest. Is there a way to do that?
There should well because we're probably not just going to want them to pop out. We'll need them to fade or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll need to set something up for that, like a material parameter
But
or something.
yeah, let's just let's just hold on for a sec because the effect we're going to probably have it'll be similar to our save points. So let's just toss one of those in and see what that looks like. Dungeons and base rooms, levels, art assets, props, interactive. Yeah. So let's just see what these shrine. Oh, this is what it looks like with the shrine there. Just right around there.
I don't think the particle effect is included in that. You mean the particle
Yeah.
effect or just the base shrine? Like the
Probably
glow?
the part of it. Well,
Yeah.
let's just see it. Let's see it first. Let's actually make it bigger and shrink it down. Just kind of see how it works.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, I forgot
Didn't
to save
save.
it.
For anybody wondering why Jacques has to save, normally you don't have to save, but there's basically this since this is a one of our procedural dungeon rooms, there's no spawn point in it, and if you create a level without a spawn point, then there's some weird things that can happen. So what happens in our game, for testing purposes, is every time you run it, it just detects that it's in a procedural dungeon room, and then loads you into the gym, and then loads that gym next to you, and it makes sure you have all the appropriate abilities to complete the room if there's any requirements like you need for a puzzle, and there's like weapons you can pick up for the test gym. But that's basically why he has to save, and it doesn't just run and work.
If we want to
Okay,
kind of actually really, I realize, yeah, I think we're going to have to get rid of these god rays when you open the
after
chest.
you open it, yeah.
Yeah. Um, I do wonder though if we should do the Zelda thing where you open the chest disappears, and then it appears afterwards. So you have one or the other. Would that be possible?
I don't think the chest disappears in Zelda.
No. No, but could we have
No,
it kind of have it appear after the chest gets open? So you don't necessarily have a chest until
you don't have a
until
warp point until after you've opened the chest.
yeah. Is that
Huh?
possible?
Uh, it
I
can,
mean, it's not
although I don't
usually.
think it's going to help anything though. Or do you mean it's in the same spot as where the chest was or something?
No, no, no. It'll probably be there. I mean, it was already kind of designed to have something there
Mm-hmm.
anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Mm.
I mean, I could see it. It's not the best that it's being occluded by the God Ray, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we'll definitely want to make something because, like, if
yeah.
well, so the thing I'll say is it needs to
Hmm.
be understandable to the player that that's a warp point
Yeah.
because it's entirely possible that every time a player goes through a dungeon, they open the chest and then they walk back out.
Yeah.
And then nobody's going to know that's a warp point until they go into it for the first time, and it
Yeah.
looks like a warp point you go into. So
Yeah.
the thing is, what we'd want is some kind of consistency between the warp
Yeah.
points we use in the puzzles, the warp points we use to get from between realms,
Hmm.
and then the warp points at the end of the dungeon.
Yeah.
So those
It'll
should all
be.
be matching or have some kind
Mhm.
of consistency.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see what it looks like with the shaders, materials, or
I don't even
meshes.
think. I think it's honestly. I think the. Are you talking about the? Oh yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if this helps.
I don't. I think because it's just going to be white on white, right?
Yeah. I think it's good. Maybe I'll have to like if we can't get that stuff, what I'll do is I'll lower the lighting on all this as well.
Well, because we're doing all this stuff, are we not just going to hide the god rays?
I mean, yeah, we could hide the god rays too.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at what that looks like as well.
Well, like, yeah, hide the god rays after you open up the chest, though, is what I mean.
Yeah.
Because it's not a lot of work. It's basically just we need to make sure.
Yeah.
Well, we need to decide how we're going to do it. Because if they fade out, we'll probably need to do something to the material parameters or the effects. Or
Yeah.
we could do something where we just move them off screen, so they just move up, and then you just don't see them because they're off screen.
Mhm. Effects, meshes, materials. Where's he's got that the beam material. Here we go.
Oh yeah, well, it
Well,
just kind of blends seamlessly into the god ray.
yeah. Yeah, so you don't really see it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, we'll probably have to get rid of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unless I actually yeah.
The thing
Right
is,
now,
so because we should have a generic god ray that's like shining down, because we use outside of dungeons, we'll use stuff like this too, right?
yeah,
Like
we're using
there's boss fights that you do where after you finish the boss fight, a chest descends from the heavens in the middle of a god ray. So we'll use the same thing, and then after you open it up, god ray will disappear. So this will be we'll package
okay.
this in a way that's like as soon as you open the chest, it just fades out.
Okay, so we do that. Stop. Do that, and then just select the God Ray, and then delete.
No, you don't need to delete it.
No, I know. I just want to see what it looks like going like
Oh,
this,
without
and boop.
it. Well, that because I don't. Does
We
that
still have
work
our
in
cone
game?
though. What?
Okay, yeah, that doesn't.
No, I don't
Is that
think it'll
just
work in
the
game.
same thing but upside down?
Oh, yeah, that's what I
Okay.
said before. I took
Okay.
I took that effect and made it upside down and slower to make it kind of look like a
Hmm.
fog. Because the thing
Okay.
is all you see in the game is just a little bit of movement,
Mm-hmm.
and then you open the chest and it goes. Whoop.
Yep.
Oh man, yeah, cool.
Cool.
Uh, yeah, that'll be that. And then I'll just kind of show because I also included this thing in the new village hub, which I'm kind of starting to map out a bit more based on
Mm-hmm.
kind of the concepts that Mike gave us and. Oh, so yeah, God rays are now here as well. I also added a really sharp spotlight because I wanted it to kind of be
Mm-hmm.
lit right there. I also added volumetric light, so this trigger the camera. We're still playing around with kind of the camera
Mm-hmm.
scale for this sort of thing as well.
Okay.
Um, so yeah. Oh, actually, that's a weird artifact. Go right above it, you'll actually see the
Yeah.
see the edge of the cone. I think I'm gonna have to make a cap at the top of that, make it like a pill shape, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah. Aside from that, so kind of a quick run through of what I did for this level so far. We've decided to kind of use some of the basic, I guess, layout and shapes from the concepts that we got. So
Mm-hmm.
we have our dojo here, our library there, our armor shop there. Boat's going to be there, and we just kind of needed some like generic buildings. I also kind of needed some other shape buildings, and we're going to kind of try and fill this to make it look. Uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Like an ambiguous village. It's
There you
not going to be like it's not going to be, I guess, deliberate buildings. Like it's not supposed to be like, oh, this is totally a shop I can walk into. It's just going to sort of look like a
go.
um, filler,
Mm-hmm.
but it has to kind of have reflect sort of the feel that we want for the town in terms of like the
Yeah.
feeling and the density, I guess, the population density. Like we don't want it to feel like a massive city. Like we're kind of, I'm still sort of playing around with and kind of like letting it gestate how busy we want this to look, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're also, I guess, the other thing next thing I'm going to work on is kind of like these more elaborate floor tiles, floor plans, kind of get this stuff going. I think sort of integrating some of these the puzzle elements and the I'll probably have to make the dojo next, and we'll see how this integrates with kind of like this. We have some ideas for pathing or just kind of like a giant open court area here, but we have to kind of integrate it with the puzzle here. And same thing with the armor shop. We're going to have to do something. We have we're going to put some moon gates in here, and these are going to kind of have some more significance to them once we have we're working on some kind of symbology, I guess, for the game right now, and that's going to kind of integrate with these moon gates. And yeah, that's kind of the direction we're slowly starting to take things. We have a few ideas, and Mike kind of put us on a nice path for that as well. But yeah, it's and then of course we're going to have some clutter just because it is a village. We're going to have some like usually, well, it depends on what shop it is. We kind of want to have some, I guess, props and accessories to kind of showcase what exactly kind of the area. If this is going to be the combat area, we're going to probably, I mean, the practice area, we're going to want some other things around here that kind of help tell that story of what it is. The armor shop, we're probably going to want to have like weapons and armors lying around and things like that, just nondescript stuff on the side. And here we're probably the same thing. It's going to just be like boxes of trinkets and books and whatever. So we'll try and get. I mean, that stuff is already concepted out. We have some. We'll see how that
Mm-hmm.
integrates. Yeah.
Okay.
So depending on
Want to
kind of
move
what we
over in
want.
the camera, but you're like right on the edge of the screen. You're like your face is like half on the screen. That's better.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and of course, moving forward. There.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's where we're at with the hub, and we're going to start continuing on with this. For the sake of our trailer, the two things we're going to have is the sculpture, so kind of the ground path and everything laid out, and then the dojo. I'm kind of thinking of how the pan's going to work, and it actually might just be better if we do kind of a pan of this and then cut to a pan of this, and use these two separate pans almost. Yeah.
All right.
That way we can do it this way and then maybe this way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it'll be we'll see how we can make it work or what looks good. But yeah, that's most of what I got for this week, I believe. Is that it? Yep, that's it for this week.
That's it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 35 minutes.
Yep.
Still, I feel like I'm getting a little bit of feedback from you still, because anytime you talk, there's a little like little ringing. I want to turn down your gain a bit.
All right, let's turn down that gain a little bit. Is that better?
Keep talking.
Hello.
Still getting a bit. We'll figure it out later.
Yeah. Sorry for the audio problems. Working on getting an arm.
Yeah. Let's see. So cool. So let me just take a look.
Oh, I hear that tinniness. Yeah, it's like a tinny ring.
You can hear it?
Oh yeah, in the speaker. It's weird.
It's coming out of your speaker.
Yeah, it's weird.
Wait, what's coming out of your speaker?
When I talk, I hear a little bit of a like a.
That's really weird. How can? So is it coming from my end? Then are you hearing something on my end?
No, it's when I talk.
Yeah.
Hello. I'm not getting it now.
Oh, there. When you lean back a bit.
Yeah.
Because it sounds a bit like feedback, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's turn this down then. Is it actually feedback? Can you hear it now?
Keep talking. I don't think so. It's
hello.
Yeah. No.
Hello?
I think I'm still getting a tiny bit, but it's definitely a lot less. But that's weird because your voice isn't coming out of your speakers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Either that or it's just like the echo-ness of the room you're in. But that's just reverb. That wouldn't be feedback.
Yeah, it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
I just heard every time I spoke, I heard a
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was getting to. I wasn't sure where it was coming from.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, stuff to kind of work on.
Yeah. It's process. It's process.
What the heck? Why is this so blasted? is blasted in the game.
Yeah, it seems okay.
No, it seems okay.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of get the rainbows when you go to the sides like that, but you don't really get it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think what I'll do, one of the things I'll do is I'll swap out. Let me know when you're done with those god rays,
Yep.
or happy specifically the ones in the treasure room, and I'll convert that into a blueprint, and then I'll make it so they fade away when I'll hook it up to the treasure chest, and they will fade away when you open the chest.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yep.
What else? Yeah, I guess I'll
So,
switch over
so
to.
for the next week, I guess my main focus is probably going to be working on the what was it? A few things for our like the vertical slice.
Mm-hmm.
Like we'll
Actually,
be
on that
yeah
note, I changed it so it's just called a demo now. Because it's just a
on the
demo.
demo.
It's not a vertical slice anymore. We're just making
Yeah.
a demo.
Yeah. So doing some things for the demo, which is simple things like bushes, grass, making a path, uh, the dojo. So things that are kind of
Mm-hmm.
aligned with both this village hub and the what we're going to show in the demo. So
Mm-hmm.
it'll be just a few minor kind of models here and there, a few minor textures here and there, and revisiting some of the things that we already have. Kind of
Yeah.
make things. Yeah, that's really about it.
Cool.
And it's kind of, I guess, working on polishing. I guess you could call it visual polishing.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I'm going to be doing a lot of basically polish, but a lot more technical stuff where it's like little things. Like, so throughout the course of our campaign, you unlock a ton of abilities, but in the demo, you don't. You just have dodge and block. So in the puzzle builder, we're going to remove any elements that would require you to have the abilities you unlock. There's still like most of the elements. I like. There's only a few of them. There's only a handful that require those abilities, but there's a lot of elements that like the push block. There's an ability that allows you to push the block. There's also other puzzle elements that can push the block. There's other uses for it. There's other ways of, and almost every element is like there's another way of using it without the ability. But I removed some of them, and then same thing with dungeon rooms. We have because there's a bunch of puzzle dungeon rooms and there's a bunch of dungeon room types like there's boss fights and stuff like that. All the boss fights you need abilities that you unlock over the course of the campaign. So we removed all of those. You won't have access to those in early access or the demo. And I mean, they're not completed anyway. We've showed them on the stream. They're nowhere near completed. So,
Mhm.
um,
Yeah.
and then I'll show real quick. Just load up the demo, I guess, or I'll start a new one and just show. There we go. We got the our special font in the loading screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we got
For the
these
actual demo, I think I would like to actually do a pass on that the
on that
character
loading.
creation screen. Yeah.
Oh, the character creation screen. Yeah, sure. Like
Yeah,
just
that'd
the
be kind of
background or
cool.
the UI as well or everything.
Probably the entire thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
the
we
UI is
added
fine for
these.
now.
Okay. I might
Yeah.
do something with the buttons because some of them are still bog standard Unreal buttons.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll add like sort of a curved edge to them and some and some stroke or
Yeah.
something so they have a bit more style to them.
All
But
right.
so I swapped out some of our cardboard guys for these target buddies that now tell you all of your tutorials. So it's not a cardboard guy uh, from Infinity Blade anymore. That guy still exists in our game. We'll replace him eventually, but he's this default standard villager that gives you all your. There's like 18 of them, I think, in the village hub that
Yeah.
slowly show up over the course of the game, and they give you side quests.
The less of that guy, the better.
Yeah, yeah. Slowly getting rid of them all. And then in here, so this is now our test dummy. So you can shoot him. He reacts, tells you how much damage you've done. If you hit him from behind, you do a bit more damage. And then I added these little pads. So when you walk up here, oh, now you see the guys, and you can do the combo. And then, oh, if you step off the pad, they disappear. So
Nice. Yeah, I'll probably have to make a pad for that too. A standing pad. Did I write that down? Yeah, a standing spot for the dojo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
Yeah. And then only the ones for the combos you're doing will show up. It was getting really crowded otherwise.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, especially over here where it's like, oh yeah, how much space do you actually need to like do a line volley and see it hit anything? There you
I
go.
realize I'm also gonna have to do a lighting pass on that dojo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to think what else I did. And added a system now, so when you're playing player-made dungeons, there's like a little bit of a formula for like what possible rarity of item you can get when you get to the end of the treasure room. And it's basically, I won't go into the details of it, but basically you can't make a super short room and then just get an awesome reward at the end. Yeah, so you gotta do a decent amount of puzzles and fights and stuff.
Mhm.
They're not weighted separately; they're weighted the same. So a puzzle is the same as a fight. But yeah, that was my
Cool.
week. Well, that wasn't my week. That was mostly my today because I spent the rest of the time doing other contract work. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But you also did help me out with water shader and stuff, so
yeah.
and some other
Mm-hmm.
quality of life stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, loads of quality of life stuff. And then next week, yeah, a lot of what I'm gonna be doing over. Oh, and we improved the quality of our stream. Last week, somebody watching us mentioned like, oh yeah, you're because we were watching Jacques' screen and it was going at like a frame a second, and it's because we were using Google Hangouts to share Jacques' screen. But then we're like, okay, let's try this with, and we were using Discord to get Jacques' webcam, but we were using Hangouts because we weren't sure. There's some weird stuff with Discord and OBS. Like, basically, to see Jacques and his screen, I basically have to have both of those in Discord, but I can't just say, all right, this window shows Jacques in OBS, and then this window shows the screen Jacques sharing. I have to basically, like, they both share the same screen, but this one is just cropped awkwardly. I guess I could just kind of show it.
Mhm.
Like, let's turn that off. We'll go to Unreal, and we'll turn off the actual game, and then I will show you what Jacques is sharing with me on Discord. Boom. So this is my 4K screen right now,
Nice.
and it's like I crop part of it's cropped Jacques, and then it's yeah, it's
Chew.
yeah. Oh god, this is like Inception. Because it's like it's me and Jacques, and there's Jacques, and then there's Jacques, and then there's Jacques, and there's me, and there's Jacques, and there's me, and there's Jacques, and there's me, and there's Jacques, and there's me, all the way down.
Nice.
So yeah, got that set up. But now when Jacques shares the screen, it's like super smooth.
Mhm.
So that's pretty nice.
Optimizing an A. After this, I will be optimizing a B.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
exciting stuff. Very exciting.
Yeah. Amazing optimizations.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, and then yeah, so my near future is basically going to be working on stuff for the demo and early access and like okay,
Yeah.
so like what do you have access to? I already did some of that stuff with the puzzle and dungeon builder. There's some other stuff I'll need to do. Like right now, you only when you're playing the demo, and even if
Mhm.
you unlock the demo, or even if you're playing in early access, basically when you're running through these procedural dungeons, all you'll ever see is the chameleon.
Mhm.
So I'll probably put something in where it's like you can unlock different enemy types.
Mhm. Well, okay. Do we even? We don't even have the chameleon made, do we?
Nope, we only have two of them made.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Chameleon's easiest, and it doesn't have any special attacks. I
Yeah.
put in, we had the goat earlier, and it's way tougher. So it's not the kind of enemy you want to run into at the very start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Draws a lot of attention with how many things that are missing, I guess, from the animations and such.
Yeah. It doesn't look that bad. Like it's
Mhm.
like the mesh is obviously missing, but I'm not like considered how small they are on screen and how quick a lot of stuff is. Like
Yeah.
there's yeah, because the modeled ones, yeah, they do. I guess I guess that's what you're saying. They draw attention to
Yeah.
like because when they raise their arms and they have
Yeah.
the sword over their head, their pauldrons like clip through their head.
Yeah. It
Little
hasn't
bits like
been
that.
cleaned up yet. That's the
Yeah,
best way. We'll
yeah,
get to it. We are
mhm.
aware.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be my next little bit. And then we'll have
Awesome.
demo, early access build, and yeah, I'm pretty optimistic for what we could have ready in July.
Yeah. Pretty excited. We'll have a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll have some pretty good stuff to show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we're making
Yeah.
good progress.
Yeah. It's all downhill. And we're like we got the logo coming in. We'll be able to share that soon.
Yep.
It's looking really cool. I'm liking it a lot. Looks epic.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Me too. Me
Me
too.
too. Yeah.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Trying to think. Like that's yeah. I had a slow week. You went over a lot. You talked really fast. If
Yeah,
anybody wants
I do
to,
that from time
if
to
anybody
time.
had trouble listening to Jock, just listen to this at like half speed.
Yeah. I almost got an hour still in there.
Hmm?
We
Yeah.
almost,
We're
yeah.
coming up on an hour.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't really got much more to go over.
Yeah.
And we have one viewer right now. Is that you?
Oh, yeah, that's me.
That's you. All right. Yeah. So we're not gonna get any questions from the audience unless you have any, Jacques.
Yeah. When are you gonna fix that screen that we have playing in the background there? That's kind of got those.
Oh, that is an old recording because it's showing the damage and everything like that, and that should all those
Yeah,
numbers and everything should be. Oh no, wait.
and the
This
old
yeah.
logo and the character. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, you updated the
that's
God rays at least, though.
technically that's no wait. Hold on. This is wait. What do I want? This. Yeah. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see what it looks like in the current version. I'll just exit to the main menu and hope it doesn't crash. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, because the numbers and everything should be hidden. I set up logic because there's all this extra verbose stuff that we have, like enemy health bars, enemy names, the amount of damage each attack does. You can turn
Yeah.
that all on and off. But
Now we've
now
got
it's
that crazy
off.
God ray texture without the actual God rays.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a mistake. We'll get to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. It's not high priority
Just
right
where
now.
priorities lie, right?
That's at the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
Surprising how well this is held up though, because we haven't made modifications to this in a while.
I don't know if it holds up very well to you because it really does not look good to me.
I'm not talking about necessarily visually. I'm talking about like the fact that they're still fighting each other.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like since I originally put this in, they didn't have like the goats didn't have the bounce attack, different weapon types, and the turtles didn't have the shields and line
Mhm.
volley attack. Hmm. But what do you say the old logo? This is still our most current logo.
Yeah, I guess theoretically, yeah. We're working on
Yeah,
it.
we have a new one coming in,
Yeah.
but and it's yeah, it should be. Well, yeah, we're not. That's the thing is like July. We got 2 months. Unless you're watching this on YouTube, that could be now. Um, but yeah, we got plenty of time. We're not in a rush for any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. On the
Well,
stream.
yeah. Let's call it a stream.
All right.
Good night,
Have a good night,
everybody.
guys.